Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus again, and I need to speak to you a little bit on the subject of this big blimp that was mentioned today in the news. A blimp that's supposed to be the size of a football field. That's a big blimp, and it's floating in the air, held together by some attachment. And its purpose is supposed to serve radar so far across the country to be able to pick up missiles that might be coming in. And this is supposed to be a defense mechanism. At least this is what is being sold to us, the public. Now, others who represent conscience of the public are indicating as well that it's also used to monitor any moving vehicle or individual, watching what people are doing on the ground. And that's a capability. Now, the truth of the matter is this, ladies and gentlemen, and I tell you, I want to remind you, I am a social scientist, and I'm educated from one of the finest universities in the country, Alcorn State University. And I say it's one of the finest institutions because it teaches you, my friends, the elements of thinking. And then it gives you a challenge to go through its curriculum using that thinking ability to see your way through all of the situations that you will be confronted with at this institution. And this has allowed me to be able to discern what's going on here in America and what's going on in the rest of the world and be able to share that with you. Is this instrument, is it have the ability to do what we're being told? Of course it does. Will it be used for that? The administration, I'm sure, would say no. The military is saying no. You and I who can think know it will. Anything that, in fact, that's probably the reason it's up there. To say it's looking for missiles is just one thing. Supposedly everybody would agree with that. But to spy on us, we wouldn't agree with that. So they deny it while we hope it's not true. Well, the point of it is, if it's possible, then you can bet your last money it's being done. That's the way the world is set up. Ladies and gentlemen, what I want you to understand is that there's no difference between the Republican Party in America and the Democratic Party. There's no difference at all. They're still ran, each one, by the same power. And as there's no difference there is also no difference between communism, socialism, democracies, dictatorships, or any other form of government. They just have different names, but they're all controlled by the same powers, and their agenda is to do what it is doing. And the point of fact is that it gets its power from the people who are silenced. Now, many of you benefit at the hands of these institutions. Many people suffer. Many people go through all kinds of changes to maintain the kinds of systems that live and exist on the face of the earth. And all of us were born into this, so this is what we do. But the purpose of this voice is to let you know that there's another power that's unseen. See, let me show you what's going on. Who is responsible for all of the food that is required from each human being to live? Who made sure that food can grow, that food would be available? Was it man? Or was it a power that's unseen? Who made it possible to have available materials that are used to create the kinds of homes and foundations and buildings and etc. that is used to maintain the systems that men have chosen? Was it man, or was it a power unseen? Who made it possible for the air that you breathe, that gives you the oxygen that maintains you so you can walk upon the face of this earth? Who gives you this? Was it man? So, if there's a power that's unseen, then that power, my friend, that power and that power alone is responsible to make sure that all your dreams are being met. But as the world is being fed through these various systems at your hand, the system of God's way, the system of the power that's unseen is also in your hand. And you must create it. You must reach out. You must have a renewing of your mind. It must be truly, genuinely renewed. You have to see. Your mind has got to have gone through a change. Otherwise, you just can't see it. Nobody's faulting you. Your conditioning has been well imprinted upon you. But the truth of the matter is, where it's taking you is going to be continuous until Armageddon, unless you change your mind. Now, changing your mind means that you have no purpose in this world system as it is. So you are here to create a new world system. And this world system is to express the genuineness of the provider of all things through our efforts to provide to all humans all things. That's the difference in God's way and man's way. Now, the truth of the matter is, evidence indicates that if you truly stand up for what's right, you'll be killed. Now, maybe if enough people rise up and their hearts are changed, maybe you won't have to be killed. But if you stand up and people listen and God is glorified, you'll be killed. But you won't look at it as a sad statement. You will look at it as rising to the occasion of going to the university that man can approve. You are going to the university of life. Why? Because you have given your life for it. And there's no way man can overcome the power of creation. And you know it. And you, once you know, become free to live like God would have you to live. And how does God have you to live? Free to represent God's way. And God, I know you might not believe in God. So if I say to you, the power of the unseen, the power of the unseen, in its every effort is to glorify humankind, every last one of them, by allowing them through the efforts that we all generate to create heaven for them. For them all. And who can hate that? Only the devil can hate that. So let the devil take you out. And if the devil takes you out, for me, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you, this is what I believe. If the devil takes you out, it is because it is saved. Just like you were told that Adam and Eve was kicked out of the garden, kicked out of the relationship known to God, knowing of their knowledge and connection with God. Now, the world, man, is saying, your connection with God disallows you the ability and the right to stay here where we don't, where we ignore God. We don't want to have anything to do with God to that extent. So you got to go. And they take you out. Now, to me, that's like waking up like from a nightmare. Because if you see heaven like that, that you stand up, you see truth like that, that you can stand up with no fear, and they really take you out for that, it is like waking up from a nightmare. And what do you wake up to? You wake to your greatest imagination of what love and true love is all about. That's the way I see it. And that makes it worthwhile. And that's why I say to you, I do the things that I do. And I don't know if that's motivation for you or no. I'm just sharing with you. Watch that blimp. It's watching you. That is only an expression, a continuous growth of man's effort to have control over mankind as man tried to play God. When the true God frees you to live. To live. This is what the church stands for. To live. To let you know that regardless of your system of government, if it doesn't line up with God, then it doesn't even exist. It's God's way. And there's no shame in it. Bye-bye.